Customs seized $1 million kina worth of smuggled cargo. PNG Media Council condemn attack on media covering protest. And teachers' savings and loans announce 7% interest for members.
This is National EMTV News with Helen Seah.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Thursday's news. An importer who smuggled cargo worth over 1 million kina into the country had the cargo seized by PNG Customs. The cargo is being held at a new customs facility at Motokea just outside Port Moresby. Chief Customs Commissioner David Toa said during a media conference that penalties for customs breaches are now more severe since Parliament amended provisions of the Customs Act passed in November 2019.
The implicated local importer will not be made known publicly at this point in time as the case is being established and investigation is continuing and as hefty penalties are being imposed. After a declaration was made by the importer, PNG Customs found something else.
In this particular import, we got an import of alcohol, spirits, different assorted spirits was imported. But in the declaration that they made was something else. They declared as water and soft drinks and that.
As a repeat offender, the importer has been on the radar of PNG Customs.
So this particular container was targeted because they were already on our target list. So we targeted that and we ran the container through our container examination facility at Motokea SEF. When we ran the container through the X-ray, we realized that the declaration did not match the image. The declaration did not match the image on the X-ray. So that's when we had to drop the container and did a physical inspection of the container.
The importer is alleged to have lodged an entry for the importation of 1,864 cartons of soft drinks, water, cider beer, and ready-mixed alcoholic drinks. The customs duty on these items totaled 48,144 kina at 66 toya. However, PNG Customs have found out the actual total is worth over 1 million kina.
The declaration that they made, the false declaration, they declared that the tax that they declared was up to 44,000. When we detected the non-compliant declaration, the total amount of revenue evaded was the actual value was 1,073,000 plus.
The importer now has to pay 1,075,311 kina 71 toya in customs duty along with the 100% penalty. As a result, the importer must pay to the state a sum of 2,150,623 kina and 42 toya before he can take delivery of the goods. The importer will also be charged with smuggling, tax evasion and false declaration under the Customs Act. Finance Minister John Pundari also expressed concern recently on corporate companies in the country not paying taxes and declaring losses year after year.
That big corporate giants investing in millions, years in Papua New Guinea already, continue to declare losses. Why are you still in my country? Why are you still in Papua New Guinea? Why wouldn't you close up and leave? There's something wrong. There's something not right. Maybe you are dishonest with my people and with this nation. Time for some forensic audits. Get up, do the right thing, do your books right, start paying some taxes.
PNG Customs has warned that importers stand to face hefty penalties if their activities are found to be in breach of the Customs Act 2020 as amended.
We have actually ramped up on our our efforts in the operations, border security, and also with our revenue collection. So we do urge our trading community, whether it be imports or exports, to correctly declare what you are importing or exporting. So,
with PNG Customs having this new container examination facility here at Motucare, it is able to more effectively monitor importer activities here in Papua New Guinea. Dennis Orere, National EMTV News.
The Media Council of Papua New Guinea has condemned the attack on media personnel covering a peaceful protest by UPNG female students on Tuesday. The Media Council said it was saddened that students who profess to come from a premier university could act in such an arrogant, rowdy manner. While some students demanded an apology for being called thugs, the SRC president warned them to take responsibility for the problems on campus.
UPNG SRC President Bradley Yombon Kopio called on the student body to take ownership and not to blame the media for reporting what had happened.
And we have to take ownership for that. If you don't like him, okay, good. You have to take ownership for what happened yesterday. The headlines happened because we attacked the media.
Yesterday, a group of students demanded that the media apologize to them for calling them thugs. They were referring to this headline. On Tuesday, UPNG female students staged a peaceful protest calling for an end to sexual and verbal harassment on campus. Media personnel who were there to cover the event were attacked by a mob of disgruntled students who did not want the media to report, claiming it would tarnish their reputation. The Media Council in a statement condemned the attack and believes strongly that continued coverage and exposure of ongoing social problems such as this will assist concerned authorities and the university's administration address these problems to make UPNG improve its image and reputation for the better. The Media Council is calling on the university's administration and the council to immediately look into this matter and ensure that all female students' safety and well-being on campus is guaranteed. This call is also supported by many others all over social media, including the PNG Trade Union Congress and the PNG Women Doctors Association. The university administration is yet to make a statement on how it plans to address this situation. Yana Zoriri, National EMTV News.
Speaking on behalf of other contestants in the Mosby Northwest by-election, 3 candidates raised concerns over one counting venue. The candidates raised this issue specifically on the Ward 1 counting area. Dr. Thaddeus Kambane, Anna Bice and Joe Tonde called a news conference this afternoon to air their discontent. They claim Ward 1, which includes Hanua Bada, is home to one of the candidates and that counting should be done at a neutral location.
Why wouldn't they take it to a central place outside of the village itself? Why couldn't they take it to Yudubada, Tech, Pomp Tech? Or why couldn't they get down to, say, Hubert Maris Stadium? Or alternatively, bring it to the same place, Long Sports Stadium. And they saw fit. And when we raise this as an issue, Long Centralism, this accounting, Long Central location, they said they couldn't do it. I mean, why wouldn't they do it? We are representing our people anyway. We're trying to find leaders here. And you want to find, we're not saying the candidate is not a good leader. No, we are only asking that Electoral Commission remove the ballot boxes and put it in a central location where there is transparency, there is accountability, that we all are satisfied with. Not in the village. We heard when the boxes were completed all night, when we had a blackout, nobody was allowed to go to the village, and the police, because the police personnel were not allowed to go to Hanubara because it's a restricted zone. How do we know the security of the ballot boxes over there? I mean, it's very, very suspicious under the circumstances. And so I don't know how this can actually amount to an honest, fair election. So when you have ballot papers going down to a candidate's village, and locked away in a candidate's village, you count the boxes, in the village, and then you declare results of the primary counts in the village. That's something I find that very difficult to understand. And we prefer, and we as the candidates, prefer that to have been relocated to a central location. Electoral Commissioner and his polling officials, including his RO, saw it fit to continue to keep it at Hanobara. And I think this is not fair.
You're watching National EMTV News. We'll have more stories after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. Teachers Savings and Loan Society has announced that their members have collectively earned an additional bonus interest of over 24 million kina. This represents 7% of the members' general savings account, which have been paid into a Yumi account. Yesterday, members can have access to this money using their Yumi cards.
Despite the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic on businesses, Teachers Savings and Loan Society this morning announced an audited net profit of over 44.9 million kina. This enables Tisa to reward its members with a 7% additional bonus interest. Tisa Chairman Gabriel Tai says paying an additional bonus is one of many ways that Tisa demonstrates to appreciate its members.
Paying an additional bonus interest is one of many ways that Tisa demonstrates its appreciation to its members, and therefore Tisa is proud to give back this 24,771,649 kina to its members for the year ended 2020.
Net loan portfolio has grown to contribute 28% of total assets and 53% of gross revenue contribution. Tisa's balance sheet at the end of 2020 stands at over 986 million kina, a 20% growth from 2019. For the year 2020, overall interest paid to members totals up to over 33 million kina. This includes monthly interest of over 8 million kina and bonus interest of over 24 million kina. The chairman says this is a reflection of the trust that members have in Tisa.
From 2009 to 2020, Tisa has paid an accumulative bonus interest of 221 million in earnings to its members, because Tisa has got priority for its members and nobody else. Members are our number one priority.
With the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic on businesses, they have complied with government regulations by awarding 3-month loan repayment holidays. They have also given tenants rental holidays on some of their properties, which resulted in loss of revenue. However, they are happy with the profit they made so far.
A lot of our members, most of our members are public servants. So they're guaranteed payroll by government. So they continue to receive pay and continue to service their loans during the period. So that provided a protection for the society and its members.
The key financial highlights for the year 2020 include financial performance, financial position, bonus interest, member savings, including overall interest payouts, and they remain committed to serving their members.
Tisa is member-focused and remains committed to serving our members' financial needs throughout what is sure to be another challenging year in 2021.
Rayon Lakingu National, EMTV News.
Teachers Savings and Loan Society has announced plans to go into providing retail banking services in the country. Tisa Group CEO Michael Koisen says their application for a banking license is now before the Bank of Papua New Guinea for approval. Once a banking license is awarded to Tisa, they will upgrade their services to providing retail banking services. The CEO says retail banking services is vital and there are not many banks serving the people, and the increase in demand for banking services has resulted in longer queues and other banking issues affecting the people.
Tisa has applied for a banking license. So the banking license application is now being assessed by the Bank of PNG. Tisa has got the scale its balance sheet size of 986 million kina gives it the scale to upgrade to become a bank. And the board and management felt that it is necessary for Tisa to upgrade or migrate into the banking space because the country needs it. At the moment, the true situation of the banking sector in this country, we have a duopoly. Basically, there's two major banks particularly servicing the retail sector. You've got 4 banks in this country and their focus, a lot of it is on the corporate sector. But the retail sector needs someone else to come in to give support. And that is attested publicly by the long queues outside a lot of the bank branches throughout the country. So we need another player to come in, and we've applied for a banking, Tisa has applied for a banking license to complement what the current banks are trying to do in terms of servicing the retail sector, in the banking sector, in the market.
New Power Limited, in collaboration with Book Belong Pikinini, delivered books to Kido Primary School just outside of Port Moresby. New Power Limited has been actively delivering much-needed aid to the surrounding communities of the PNG LNG site. The donation of books to Kido Primary School took place yesterday and comes under New Power Limited's Education Support Program under their community engagement objective, and Book Belong Pikinini's aim to foster a lifelong love of reading and learning. A collection of books had been donated to Kido Elementary School much earlier, and this lot came with reference books for teachers and students, as well as reading books for primary school level.
As your teachers would always have said, if you want to go anywhere, you must read. Like your pastors say, read your Bible, you read your books too. I'd like to thank Book Belong Pikinini for partnering with us.
On behalf of the Board of Management, the teaching staff of both sectors, primary and elementary school, the TIC, our local pastor, and the community of Kido, we would like to say thank you for handing us these books, and thank you for showing interest in our children's education.
New Power Limited has been very active in giving back to surrounding communities of the location in which they operate out of. Their service to the 5 villages of Hiri West depends on what the communities are most in need of. Therefore, the New Power team works closely with village elders and councillors to ensure the most essential services are delivered to the people. Apart from the donation of books to schools, New Power Limited has donated tanks to the 5 villages of Hiri West LLG to ease the burden of a shortage of clean water supply in these communities. The BSP Trash to Treasure Sculpture Festival is finally here. The Port Moresby Nature Park has been working hard over the past 5 months to creating larger-than-life sculptures. The festival emphasizes on creating sculptures made of solid waste such as tins, cans, bottles, rubber and plastic collected from around the city. Park General Manager David Thompson says this is a great opportunity to educate the general public on issues of waste and pollution, which is an environmental concern for a big city such as Port Moresby. Naming rights sponsor BSB Financial Group and NCD Governor Paul Parkop were present to support this initiative. The larger-than-life sculptures will be on display at the Port Moresby Nature Park for 5 weekends from the 12th of June to the 11th of July for all to see. And now looking at the NASD market reports, the kina opened unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina will buy $0.2775 $0.3529 Australian dollars, $0.3815 New Zealand dollars, and 29.76 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading higher, coffee closed lower, cocoa and copper closed higher. Palm oil and copper closed higher, crude oil is trading lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher.
Tukai Sports.
two suburbs in the Mosby South electorate, Saraga at 6 Mile and Konedobu, yesterday had the chance to watch the State of Origin game, one on the big screen. This was thanks to the Minister for Housing and Urbanization, local member Justin Tichenko.
It was the usual fanfare yesterday, face paint and enthusiastic supporters. The State of Origin big in Australia, with PNG bandwagoning on the hype, even little children getting in on the hype. Two suburbs from the Mosby South electorate had big screens out, with local member Justin Tichenko catching the game with the grassroots community. Tichenko says the initiative will expand to all suburbs in the Mosby South electorate.
Thank you for coming. We're going to do it for game 1, game 2, and game 3. Mosby South, South Side, the best, Thank you, everybody. After this, half-time, then we go to Saraga, 6 Mile.
Preparations were taken on early at the first location at Saraga 6 Mile, with fans already predicting their winners.
Saraga market was a big plus screen. Meeting was a maroon for winners.
Me too, me amamas to go watch Saraga. Lo blues ba win, lo name la adokation.
As the night ensued, the crowd in a gaze from the darkness at Konedobu, with the children from Koni and the nearby areas the more energetic on the night, as New South Wales Blues took on the lead. A bitter night for Queensland fans as the team failed to capitalise on opportunities. Even diehard Queenslander Justin Tichenko unimpressed. But he did enjoy the only Queensland try by Kurt Capewell.
And they needed something before half-time.
The second half was viewed at the Saraga market, now a sticky crowd, but energetic to the core. No rivalry here, just a good time with family and friends. In the end, New South Wales thumped Queensland 50 points to 6. So was the experience, with the community happy with the initiative.
Kind of initiative, Minister working, Justin, and I think I'm a good luck. So, only beginning, only painting face loan, all mamas, all like somebody team loan. All community, all shake up, only come inside a big screen. Now only like looking game because.
Fidelis Sukina, Trukai Sports.
The EGP netball tournament scheduled for this weekend received support from B-Mobile yesterday. B-Mobile will be awarding standout players in the competition with tablets and mobile phones to most valuable players.
The much-anticipated netball tournament in Ula Rigo Coast, the EGP Cup, has seen a facelift with B-Mobile coming on board to support the tournament. B-Mobile 4G LTE is now the official communications partner for the tournament. They have sponsored the prizes for the most valuable player for each division. The A-grade MVP will receive a tablet, while MVPs in other division will be given Redex Revolver's mobile phone with free SIM cards.
Of that support, we'll be providing best and fairest. As with every sports tournament, there is always a best and fairest. There is always one player that stands out, and we'd like to reward those players for their hardened efforts. So for the 5 divisions, we'll be giving away a Tab Grand 6 with a wireless keyboard, and also our very own Redex Revolvers as well to the other divisions.
The annually held competition gathers netball stars around NCD and Central Province. The EGP Cup committee, upon receiving the prizes, thanked B-Mobile for the commitment to support this sporting initiative.
We are quite honoured and humbled by you coming on board to be our major communication partner for this tournament. We'd like to thank B-Mobile for this. All these items that will be awarded to the players in their respective divisions.
The games will commence on Saturday with the finals staged on Monday. Suli, Trukai Sports.
And that story wraps up Trukai Sports. The weather reports after these messages. And to end our news bulletin tonight, Prime Minister James Marape takes his second jab of AstraZeneca vaccine. That's after the break.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
A look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Partly cloudy tonight with rain drizzles at times in Port Moresby and Popondetta. Cloudy with a few showers in Daru, Alotau and Kerema. In the Mamasa region, cloudy periods in Ley and Wau. Cloudy with some showers in Medang and Vanimo and Wewak. In the New Guinea Islands region, cloudy with a few showers and thunderstorms in Lorengau, cloudy with some rain drizzles in Kavieng, partly cloudy weather in Kokaporabal and Puka and showers, then cloudy weather in Kimbe. And in the Highlands region, showers easing into cloudy periods, then morning fog right across the region in Mount Hagen, Goroka, Kundiawa, Mendi and Wabag. Forecast for small crafts for the next 24 hours. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait and Daru to Kiwai Islands, seas of 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Kerema and Gulf of Papua to Yule Island and Hood Point to Samari Islands, with waters of Samari Islands to Cape Vogel and eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, including waters of Enchalfen through Vitiaz and Dampier Straits to CRC and Long Islands, with waters of Long Island to Medang and Wewak to Aitape to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, with waters of Manus and its western group of islands, including also waters of New Ireland to East New Britain and Bougainville, seas of 1 to 2 meters. Waters north of Cape Vogel to Huon Gulf and Finschhafen, seas of 0.5 to 1.5 meters. A look at the ocean forecast for PNG areas. In the Coral Sea, seas moderate with southeast winds at 15 to 20 knots. In the Solomon Sea, seas slight to moderate with northeast easterly winds at 10 to 20 knots. In the Bismarck Sea, seas slight to moderate with east to southeast winds at 10 to 20 knots. And in the Pacific Ocean, seas moderate with easterly winds at 15 to 20 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And to end the news tonight, Prime Minister James Marape today got his second jab of AstraZeneca vaccine and urged others to do the same. His first jab was taken on the 30th of March.
Prime Minister James Marape took the second jab of AstraZeneca vaccine today. The first was taken in March this year.
Cohorts who got vaccinated the first time, including Governor General, starting from me now, tomorrow onwards, they will be getting a second shot.
According to PM Marape, there is now a variety of COVID-19 vaccines on the market. And once this is made available in the country, citizens will also have the opportunity to choose.
Chinese vaccine is also coming on board. WHO has finally cleared and is ready to come for our Chinese residents in our country. Those who want to get the Chinese vaccines, and also the PEPFAR vaccines been approved already. And the USA government is trying to also mobilize to also assist us with the vaccine.
Marape said the government will aim to get all the vulnerable people like the elderly, children, working class people who are frequent travelers vaccinated.
Today, vaccines are available on the market. We want to also go into a vaccination strategy where people can get themselves vaccinated. That strategy will be rolled out very soon, and as we have more vaccines coming in. As I did indicate earlier, we under our program, we are envisaging to mobilize at least up to 1 million vaccines of different combinations, and we inoculate those sections of our population who are highly mobile, who are at work, at risk, and so that we can be able to keep our country safe.
Vaccination is not compulsory, which means whoever wishes not to be vaccinated may do so, but added to the new normal or COVID-19 protocols.
If you don't want to get yourself vaccinated, you stand exposed, but I ask you all, remain isolated yourself. Self-disciplined, self-isolated. Wear your mask at all times. Do hand sanitation. Keep yourself practicing the nucleopasin. And hopefully in that process, we do not stop our country and economy from functioning, but we live with it.
Alexis Sengi, National EMTV News.
And that ends the news, sports and weather for this Thursday, 10th of June 2021. On behalf of the news team, pleasant viewing, be safe and good night.